everyone, this is Connor and Connor today is going to very nicely give up his back for educational purposes. We're going to show you a few different techniques to give somebody in your household an upper back, neck, shoulder massage, which is, I think, quite essential for a lot of us right now, whether we are feeling considerably stressed out with everything that is going on. We don't have the same ability to get to the gym and have all of these different movements going on. So if somebody that you know would benefit from having a little shoulder rub, this is to help give you a few different ideas about techniques and ways that we can all help each other feel a little better in these, with all that stuff that we're going through. So here we go. You only need 3 things. You need a massager, you need a massagee, and you need some kind of lotion or oil to reduce the friction on the skin. A really good thing to use with kids and babies specifically would be any kind of edible oil. So canola oil, olive oil, almond oil, and obviously, no peanuts if you're allergic to that stuff, but just something to increase the glide on the skin. Okay, we're going to use some body moisturizer. So the first thing that you want to do is maybe take your rings off, first and foremost. And then secondly, you're just going to start with some gentle, broad compressions. So Connor has a small little back. So I'm going to be using my fingertip pads for his compressions, but with a full-sized adult, you're going to probably want to use the palm of your hand here, okay? So first thing that we do is we say, would you like to have a massage? Yes. And will you tell me if it doesn't feel good? Yes. So you constantly want to check in about pressure, because everybody has a very different pressure tolerance and preference. So using the pads of your fingers, you want to come up to the top of the shoulders where you find these kind of gentle, soft, pushy muscles here. And you just gently press straight down towards the floor and then gently back out. And so it's not a real sudden push, because you want to give people a chance to say, oh, that's too much. So you're starting at the top and you just very gently increase the pressure, pushing down, and then gently decrease the pressure coming out. And then same thing, you just kind of start working closer and closer to the shoulder joints, and then you can work your way back in. You may notice your massagee does not sit up straight anymore once they start becoming a little relaxed. Now, pushing in here, once we start moving down on either side of the spine and you're pushing forward, you're going to push their whole body. So they're either going to resist against you a little bit here, or we can do one thing at a time where we cup the right shoulder to kind of prevent that anterior movement and combat that a little. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push in with my left hand, and I'm gently just going to kind of pull the shoulder with my right hand, just to help keep him a little stable here. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to wrap my left hand around his shoulder, locate the spine by feeling where it's bony, and then move just off to the right of that. Get your fingertip pads or the palm of your hand, again, if you're working with somebody who is significantly bigger than Connor, but Connor's what I have, so Connor's what we're using. And then we're just gently pushing in to the muscles there. Connor, how's your pressure?
Good.
Good. Do you want less or do you want more? Or does it feel perfect? I think he's okay. He's definitely all loosey-goosey. So once we've done our compressions here, it's just a nice gentle warm up of just pushing into the soft tissue. You can go ahead and help yourself to a little bit of lotion. Do you want more massage? Okay, so we always put the lotion on our hands. We don't put it directly on our, for lack of a better word here, client, because this would feel really cold. So I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to warm it up in my hands first. And then we're going to start in the middle, work up the spine, out like a T, down the sides, and then back to the middle. Up, sides, down, middle. So we're drawing like two little rectangles here. And this is just nice and gentle and relaxing and just a nice way to prepare the back. Don't be afraid to go a little bit ample with your lotion here because more is more. Okay, so once we have our client all moisturized, you can take the thumbs and again, locate those bony prominences of the spine here and then come just offside. And then you're going to take your thumbs and gently pushing in, start to draw some circles. Up, all the way up. And then once we get to the top, you can just gently squeeze the upper traps, being mindful of how the person that you're treating feels about that. So just a nice gentle squeeze for people that don't need a lot. And you can give a more extreme squeeze for the people that really like it. If you have like a full-grown adult who really likes a good upper trap squeeze, it's nice to kind of put one hand on one side of the traps, fingertips on the other side, and you can use both hands to create a pinching effect here. Connor, can you lean back just a hair? So kind of like, yeah, should look like that. And then just gently easing off there.
Left you.
You can also use your fingertips to draw lubricated circles from the base of the neck through the upper traps down to the shoulders. If you like working in the shoulder joints a little bit, I can show you that one. So again, we got some lotion, warm it up, lubricate, lubricate, lubricate. And then a nice thing to do here is just kind of finding this groove where the chest meets the shoulder. So this is kind of the anterior deltoids here. And you can just start at the top and then slide down. And then moving just over a little bit, starting at the top and sliding down. And you can just work your way through the middle of those fibers and then kind of around to the back, getting into the posterior part of the shoulder. And then another thing you can do here would be like a cross fiber strip where you, again, locate this little groove and then come along this way. And you're going to notice a lot of tight bands through here that kind of twang like guitar strings, and that's just really normal. And then I guess the last thing that I can show you guys would be a little bit of tapotement, which is just some tapping or hitting or beating or whatever level you want to take it up to, but we'll start with some gentle tapping. So just fingertips and just like you're playing a drum, but you're trying to keep it fairly rhythmic here. You can work your way all the way down. This is sedative if it goes on for a little while, but you do want to keep it as even and rhythmic as possible. So for Connor, this is probably good enough, but if I had somebody bigger that wanted more pressure in front of me, I can also change to using the sides of my hands here. So a little bit of hacking. How's this feeling, Connor? How is it feeling?
Good.
Good. And then if you want more pressure than this, you can close your fists. And again, you're trying not to beat on any bony prominences here. If you come across the spine, you don't want to massage directly on the spine. Little, you know, here's Connor's outline of his shoulder blade, right? So you've got this bone that comes down here, and then here's that inferior angle. So you don't want to be massaging right on bone. When you find bone, just kind of come off until it feels soft and squishy again. And then to close, let's just do some nice stroking. This can be light with just fingertips here, where you start at the very top of the spine and you're just trailing along directly in the middle, just nice and light, or you can apply a broader flat palm and just all the way down to the base. And this is very soothing, but again, you want to keep a nice even flow here, nothing too choppy and all over the place, just smooth and rhythmic, like a little waterfall.